So let me show you my selfie process from start to finish. I promise it's really quick. If I wake up in the morning and decide I need to share my hair and makeup with the world, the first thing I'm gonna do is head to some good light. Here I'm in front of the door to my balcony because as you can see, it gets some really nice filtered even light. This is gonna be a headshot. So I'm holding the camera slightly above my eye level. I'm turning my head slightly away and I'm squinting ever so slightly so my eyes aren't open too wide. And there we go. That's why lighting is so important. This photo is actually pretty good right now. I could easily take it just with a few small changes, post it right now. But if I want to take it to the next level, there are still a few things that I could do. And that's what I'm going to do right now. So we're not going to make a lot of changes to this photo. In fact, what I'm going to show you is how just a few quick changes can make a really big difference and take a lackluster photo to something that's so much better. And the first thing that I'm going to do is to go into FaceTune. And that's FaceTune 1, which is free, not FaceTune 2. And I'm not going to make a lot of changes here, just a few well-placed changes. I'm certainly not going to go crazy and smooth out my skin. I'm just going to do a couple of things to kind of improve the photo a little bit. The first thing that I'm going to do is to whiten my eyes. And the reason I do that is that I have really bad allergies and my eyes, unfortunately, are just always perpetually red. If I left them the way they are naturally, they're very distracting in photos, unfortunately. So I really like to kind of lightly, ever so lightly, whiten my eyes. Not so much that they're crazy distracting, but just enough so that unfortunately they just kind of look normal. So I choose the whiten tool, I zoom in by using my fingers, and then I just lightly, barely any whiten. And then you can scroll over by using 2 fingers. And then again, using just my finger, I lightly whiten my eyes. And if you think that you've done too much, you can easily undo it. Now, my skin is actually looking pretty good these days. I don't really have any dry patches like I frequently do. But if I want to, I can smooth out any areas. Like I said, I don't really smooth out any wrinkles, but I can smooth out some areas where maybe I have like a dry, wrinkled patch or something. And I'm literally just dabbing. And I'm not changing very much here. I'm really just kind of showing you what I could do if I wanted to smooth out something. And then that's all I'm going to do here. So I'm going to save it to my camera roll. And then I'm going to take it into a photo editing program. Now, there's a ton of those out there, and they mostly all do the same thing. So if you've got one that you like, definitely use the one that you're most comfortable with. I like Lightroom because it's free. I know how to do the things that I want to do in them. I don't do a lot. And it comes with a ton of presets so that if you want to easily pump up a picture and make it really have a lot of glowing colors, you can. It's easy to change a bunch of pictures at the same time. It has a lot of good features. What I'm going to do right now is what I do to most of my photos, and it's just really quick and easy. So I'm going to go into Lightroom. As you can see, I've got a lot of the same photo from that photo shoot I did earlier. And the very first thing that I'm going to do is I've got this weird thing going on with my arm from where I was holding the camera that's really distracting. So I'm going to crop that out by choosing a 1x1 square and then just turning it into an Instagram square. The next thing I'm going to do is brighten up this photo a little bit. I think photos look better on the phone when they're really light and bright. I've already got some pretty good color on here, so I'm not going to do it a lot, but I'm going to bump up the exposure maybe to like here. And then I told you I wasn't going to Photoshop out my wrinkles or try to make them go away or smooth them out. But there's no reason why we have to emphasize them either. So the contrast is the amount of difference between the light areas of your photograph and the dark areas of your photograph. And on your face, the dark areas are the shadows caused by your wrinkles, and the light areas are the parts that aren't wrinkled because they're higher up, right? So we're going to take the contrast down a little bit so that there's less difference between the two areas. The same token, we're going to make the highlights more emphasized. So we're going to bring them up a little bit. And look at the difference already. My skin is brighter, the photo's brighter. It's already a better photo. And what I'm going to do next is kind of make the colors pop a little bit. Now, I want the color of my shirt to be more vibrant, but I don't want my skin color to change, because if I do that, then my skin's going to look a little bit more red than I want it to. So what I'm going to do is to bring up the vibrance a little bit. If I brought up the saturation, then it would also change my skin color. The vibrance will bring up all the other colors in the photo, but not change my skin color. So I'm going to bring that up. And you can see that it really makes a difference. And then actually the very last thing that I'm going to do is sharpen the photo a little bit. So you might be like, well, why don't you want to keep it all soft and blurry? That'll make your wrinkles really fade back in. But I do want to make it look kind of crisp and clear. And I feel like phone photos in general tend to look very soft and blurry. And I don't like that look. So I'm just going to sharpen it just a teeny bit. So here's before, here's after, before, after, and that's it. We're ready to export this to the camera roll, and it's ready to go on Instagram. As always, there's a ton of other things that we could be doing to try to make the photo better, but if you want to do just a couple of sweet, quick, simple things to improve your photo, that's typically what I'll do. And there you have it. Just a few simple changes, and you can take your selfie game from this to this. Thanks for watching. I hope you picked up a few tips. I'll see you soon.